Hello guys, welcome to the Train Parrot. Today we tested support just like we say in the morning, and it wasn't just that we test support or around support, but actually, if you allow me my 5 minutes of bragging, you can see in here that 93.575 is precisely where the price went. That is the support provided by the RSI 58 that we talked about this morning. I'm also going to talk about the 4-hour, which did pretty well in terms of holding the price right here. And once again, I want to talk about the CPR pattern together with the triangle symmetrical that we are observing as we enter in December. I think I have made my mind on what I'm expecting from this pattern and when I think is invalidated, which is very close. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I put out one of these videos. And as you can see at 2:20 p.m., that is roughly 3 hours ago, I made sure that you were not just informed about the 4-hour support, but I also mentioned that we were testing the support on the daily. If you watch my video in the morning and you're subscribed to Telegram, you're fully aware of what that means. I'm not gonna treat anybody like a kid. We are all among adults. We are all traders here. So the opportunity was right there. We had a decent bounce of almost 3% into resistance. We knew that there was this liquidation at 94.2 and below there was not that much. We saw this morning this opportunity to hit this and to potentially see some bouncing from there. Remember guys, it's not all about trading the breakouts. Sometimes it's about trading support and resistance, to take a long at support or to take a short at resistance. If we see a breakout, we can flip the whole story and trade a breakout. But at the end of the day, trade whatever you feel more comfortable and practice like if it was the end of the world. That is the best path to success. All right, looking at the 4-hour, you can see that the triangle held the price once again. Our support on the RSI is pretty far on the 4-hour, like $600 to $700 away. It bounced. In this time, it was the price holding. That is also a consequence that we have to adjust this trend line in here, accommodating for this area of fake out. But indeed, the price decided to bounce in the old support where we had the trend line before, instead of bouncing in here, which makes it a little bit more risky, I agree. But on the daily, we had a great bounce from RSI 58. And this area of support that we just bounced from on the daily has been support since August. We are in December. That means it's been 120 days of holding the price on the daily. And I don't know really if we are going to hold that in the next few days. We're going to continue looking at the 4-hour for more clues and the liquidity forming below, of course, to see any potential incentive to go there. As I said in the morning, I find very low likely to go to 30. That will be going to 71K roughly. But you know, as well, I never say never. In the morning, I say that going there is not what we should be expecting according to seasonality of Bitcoin. We are in November and we are tracking patterns from 2020, and those patterns are screaming for a massive bump right after where we are. So more on this. In the morning, I talk about this pattern. Also, I talked about this pattern a couple of days ago when we started the month. And we talk about 11 days holding in here until we get to the end of the triangle. Since this support in here, it's a lot tighter to the price, it cannot be placed like this to allow for 11 more days of just bouncing off this line. I am a little bit tempted to say that there is a tiny small chance that the bounce that we are having from 94.8 could initiate an explosive move like the one you're seeing here. And the reason is because these patterns are not precisely the same. We need to decide what is the critical part of the pattern. And the critical part for me is the 3 bounces in here and 3 bounces in here. Second critical part of the pattern is that once we identify the resistance, which in this case is 100K, and in this case is the all-time high, we come back for a last retest of that ascending trend line. That is one way of seeing this that could force now the price to make that decision if it wants to mimic what we did in December 2020. Reasons for this to fail, there's a long list as well. For example, that we still haven't touched the pivots, and it's very rare that CPR doesn't touch in a month the pivots. That only happens in very, very bullish months or very, very bearish months. This makes the month where we are a virgin CPR month. And you can see that in 2020, it clearly wasn't a virgin month because the price managed to get to the middle pivot. That makes 2 out of 3 that were pinched. And where we are now, we haven't pinched yet any pivot. So what are we going to privilege to make our call in here? I think I will expect the price somewhere in here, not too much lower than 94K to make the decision to mimic this. If we start going to 91 and we take out this low of 92, I'm very tempted to say that from then, there is very low likelihood that we mimic this step by step and we start pushing immediately. We already broke the pattern in the sense that this is higher than that, whereas in 2020, we put a new high instead. So it's kind of opposite the pattern at the top. So are we going to allow to continue breaking more similarities, give some extra flexibility? Well, nothing will make me happier than waking up tomorrow morning and just seeing a candle like that going into the moon. If we were to see something like that, it has to be pretty impulsive. You can see that in 2020, from the bottom of September, if we put a Fibonacci trend extension, we reach the 2618 by January. If we do the same in here, same exercise to that bottom in November, this is crazy, but 2618 in January should be like 200K Bitcoin, which is just crazy. And I'm sure I did it right. This is from the bottom, 7 September, to the top of November, to the bottom of November at 91K. And in this case is from 9 of September, actually in here to the top of November, which is the last day of November. So a little bit less than the 2618. So somewhere like 200K, still crazy. So going back to the 2-4 hour, you can see that we are still in the RSI. There is no decision. There is no decision in this pattern either. This is just saying we bounce off support. We might as well go to the next resistance at 97.3 or to the RSI, which is currently at 97 based on the top of the triangle. On the daily, I'm very expectating this is not the time to not look, because either we break the support from August on the daily and we do something horrible, or we bounce off here and we start pushing higher, potentially breaking the 100K. So if you're watching this video 10 days after I publish it and you missed it, or someone told you and it already pumped and they tell you, Trading Parrot was telling us here to pay attention. You should be paying attention. And unfortunately, most of the people are just paying attention to the alts, but Bitcoin is calling for continuation. Altcoin season is not going anywhere, but in my opinion, not looking at Bitcoin right now is the wrong thing to do. I can tell by the views in the videos, by the way. Just a couple of weeks ago, there were some of my videos making 15,000 views, and today we barely made 2,000 views, and people are missing these calls with the liquidity. They're probably very busy FOMOing into XRP, which is by now 2.5, and whatever happens, I'm happy because I managed to sell at 2.8, and after years of holding, even if it continues going higher, it's a huge relief to be able to sell your red bag. If you've been there, leave me a comment down below. At the moment, we don't have fair value gaps, and that's a very strange situation to be, because it means that we cannot use anything to attract the price apart from 85K. So price needs to make now a big decision. Is it going to come and start chasing liquidity somewhere else because it has already been flipping here for long enough? Or are we going to start challenging resistance and hit that 100K anytime soon? The liquidity of 94 is gone. Let's refresh this. Now we have some at 93.2, but the upside is calling for a little bit of a move to 99K. That's the largest in the last 30 days. Let's see the delta of liquidations. You can see the spike of the bid. That was really helpful to see there when I was posting at 2 p.m. that we were bouncing off support. Remember, I will never tell you to long, to short, you do whatever you want. I'll give you all the calls. Hopefully this one in here is going to have enough energy now to reclaim the support and to continue going up to hit the 99K. That will be awesome. And I was going to show you the delta. Let's go back down in here. Let's refresh. And yes, with the move down and everything, it's still in red, very humbly showing 184. That puts the shorts at slightly higher risk. And the delta of longs versus shorts on trading light is still in the red. Interesting, very interesting. Alright guys, if you want to trade altcoins or Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever you want to trade with leverage, spot, consider opening an account on Bybit. I'm currently hosting an event. You can unlock up to 30,000 in rewards based on trading volume. Using the link in the description also gets you the lowest fees to trade in that exchange. Bluffing is offering a campaign as well. If you use the link in the description to open an account on Bluffing, you can claim the following bonuses based on trading volume and the size of the deposit. The event is ending on the 14th of December. And the beauty of this exchange in particular is that it doesn't require KYC to use. The vast majority of the countries in the world, you can use it without a VPN. And if you use the link in the description, you also get the lowest fees to trade. Do not forget that I also have a new partnership with 2bit. 2bit is an exchange built by the people from Bybit. So it's going to be very familiar. The user interface, if you open an account on 2bit, you can claim the new 9K exclusive bonus in my channel. It's also available if you watch my videos on Coin Bureau Trading, and 40% fee discounts, which is always welcomed. All the links are in the description. And I always forget, but guys, if you want to monitor my charts, I keep changing the trend lines from my phone, and whenever I save the chart, those charts are available all day, 24/7 on my website. You just go to the tradingparrot.com/charts. Scroll down to popular charts and you're going to find each and every single chart I share. You just need a trading view to be able to use any of them. But if you want to also access liquidity pools, the bid versus the ask, or the order blocks that I use from Lux Algo, I left all the additionals, which are absolutely optional. You can always watch my videos and not need to pay any of this, because every day I show you at least twice a day the status of all these charts in my videos. We discuss them, or you can also observe them via Telegram, Twitter, and Instagram, again for free. But I know many of you are obsessed with trading and you want to get access to this. And it's always nice to get a nice discount and to support the channel, of course. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.